Hey, Yankees fans! Today, we are diving deep into the latest updates surrounding the team, including everything you need to know about Gerrit Cole's recovery, the bullpen situation, and the moves that could shape the roster as the new season approaches. There has been a lot of speculation about whether the Yankees would take an approach similar to what the Dodgers did with Shohei Ohtani during his return from Tommy John surgery. But it seems that is not the plan. Cole's comeback will be carefully managed, but unlike Ohtani, the team isn't planning to use him as a multi-role player who can ease into the season. While contributing offensively for the Yankees, Cole's value is entirely on the mound, which changes the strategy completely. Brian Cashman has made it clear that while they are cautious, they won't slow down Cole's recovery just to guarantee innings for a potential playoff run. The focus is on ensuring that when he returns, he is fully ready to pitch at a high level. Rather than trying to rush him through the process, this approach is completely different from Ohtani's situation, where the Dodgers were able to gradually build him back into the rotation, while he could still hit as their designated player. That gave Los Angeles the flexibility to manage his innings in a way that is simply not possible for a pitcher who contributes solely on the mound. Ohtani's return last season was remarkable, pitching 14 games with a sub-3 ERA while striking out more than 60 batters in under 50 innings, but he also had the benefit of regular at-bats as a hitter. Cole, on the other hand, won't have that dual role. His focus is purely on pitching, which makes every decision about workload and innings critical. The Yankees are taking a more traditional approach to his rehab, which means starting the season without him in the rotation is a reality they are preparing for. Other pitchers like Clark Schmidt and Carlos Rodon are also expected to miss the beginning of the season due to their respective surgeries, which leaves some holes in the pitching staff that will need attention in the early weeks. Despite the setbacks, the Yankees roster is slowly taking shape as the season draws near. Signing Cody Bellinger was a significant move, even though it does put financial constraints on the team because of the luxury tax. His return strengthens the lineup by maintaining much of the offensive firepower from last season, keeping the Yankees competitive in a division where rivals are making steady improvements. Even with Bellinger back, the team still faces challenges, particularly when it comes to balancing the lineup and filling gaps created by injuries or departures. One area that could see adjustment is behind the plate. With two left-handed hitters already catching regularly, there may be a push to bring in a right-handed option to provide balance. Players like Austin Wells and J.C. Escarra handled most of the duties last year, with Wells taking the primary role. Ben Rice, while also left-handed, played a backup role and occasionally filled in at first base or as a designated hitter. A right-handed catcher could give the Yankees more flexibility, particularly against left-handed pitching, and help the lineup stay consistent throughout the long season. This is especially important, considering the new automated ball strike system, which could shift the value of catchers in terms of framing versus offensive production. Potential targets could include free agents who hit well against left-handed pitchers, providing a platoon option behind the plate without breaking the bank. Someone like Mitch Garver could fit that profile, offering solid offensive numbers against southpaws while giving the team flexibility on days when Wells needs rest. Alternatively, a trade could bring in a player like Ryan Jeffers from Minnesota, who has shown consistent production against left-handed pitching throughout his career. While defensive numbers might not be elite, his ability to contribute offensively and catch selectively could add an interesting layer to the roster. Another area of focus is the bullpen, which saw key departures in the offseason. The Yankees lost relievers who contributed heavily last season in terms of innings and strikeouts, and replacing that depth is critical. High-velocity arms, particularly strikeout-heavy pitchers, are always in demand, and adding a left-handed option would be valuable given the current limited depth on the roster. Tim Hill is currently the main lefty, with Brent Hedrick providing depth, but additional reinforcements could make a real difference over the course of the season. Players like Michael Kopech, despite coming off injuries, or Yalen Beeks, who has shown consistency and effectiveness against both right-handed and left-handed hitters, are intriguing possibilities. Each could provide innings and improve overall bullpen flexibility without demanding major trades or financial commitments. As spring training approaches, the Yankees will need to make strategic decisions about how to fill these roles. They must balance the need for proven performance with long-term roster flexibility and budget considerations. The departure of players like Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, and Mark Leiter Jr. left sizable gaps in the bullpen, so the team will have to find creative ways to plug those holes. Internal options may be explored. But if the season begins with too many untested arms, a mid-season acquisition could be necessary to maintain competitiveness. This makes early planning and evaluation of remaining free agents and trade possibilities a priority for the front office. The outfield is another area where right-handed hitting depth could be useful, while Bellinger and Aaron Judge anchor the lineup, and Jason Dominguez provides some versatility as a switch hitter. The bench lacks consistent right-handed power. Adding a player who can fill in against left-handed pitchers and provide productive at-bats off the bench would create more balance and allow the team to optimize matchups. Options could include veterans like Randal Grichuk or Austin Slater, both of whom have demonstrated effectiveness against left-handed pitching and could offer depth without requiring significant financial commitments. The Yankees may also look at younger players who can step into a platoon role and contribute situationally. On top of that, first base could see adjustments depending on the availability of veterans like Paul Goldschmidt or alternatives such as Ty France. France has become more of a defensive asset in recent years, but he offers a reliable option off the bench for pinch hitting or spot starts. Goldschmidt provides stronger offensive production, particularly against left-handed pitching, but at a higher cost. Decisions here will impact not only the first base rotation, but also how other players are utilized in the lineup. Including designated hitter duties and bench positioning, the Yankees must weigh production, cost, and flexibility carefully, especially when considering the team's luxury tax situation and the need to maintain roster balance. Meanwhile, Cole's return remains the key narrative heading into the season, while the timeline points to a possible comeback in early June. Every detail of his rehab is being managed meticulously to avoid setbacks. The Yankees understand the value of having him at full strength, particularly as the team navigates a competitive American League East. His presence on the mound will significantly influence how the rotation and bullpen are used, as well as how the team approaches games against divisional rivals. With multiple starters recovering from surgery, including Schmidt and Rodin, the rotation will be a mix of veterans and younger arms for the first couple of months. This makes Cole's eventual return even more critical to stabilizing the pitching staff and giving the Yankees a legitimate shot at competing for the division title. The team's strategy moving forward balances caution with ambition. The front office knows that rushing any pitcher back too quickly could compromise not only the player's health, but also the team's competitive chances later in the season. Meanwhile, shoring up the bullpen, adding depth in the outfield, and finding the right catching options remain key priorities. Every move has implications for lineup construction, player development, and roster flexibility, making the off-season planning process as crucial as ever. Yankees fans can expect a mix of calculated acquisitions, careful rehabilitation management, and strategic positioning to maximize the team's potential once the games begin. As we look further into the roster, the Yankees' remaining needs become clearer, particularly when it comes to balancing the lineup against left-handed pitching. With Bellinger and Judge anchoring the right-handed side, the bench could use additional players who can step in during critical situations. Flexibility is crucial, especially early in the season, when injuries or fatigue could force unexpected adjustments. Players like Randal Grichuk and Austin Slater provide situational hitting and defensive versatility, giving Aaron Boone options when facing tricky matchups. Grichuk, with his experience against left-handed pitchers, can offer a reliable bat off the bench while also serving as a competent outfielder. Slater, meanwhile, combines solid defense with pinch-hitting capability, making him a valuable depth option for a team that may face a long stretch of games without a fully healthy roster. The first base position also remains a point of interest. Paul Goldschmidt, if available, would bring immediate offensive power and veteran leadership, but cost considerations may push the Yankees to explore alternative options like Ty France. France's value has shifted more toward defense in recent seasons, and while he may not provide the same offensive punch, his consistency and ability to play multiple roles in the lineup make him an intriguing option for situational use, whether used as a defensive replacement, a spot starter, or a pinch hitter. France offers depth that could help the Yankees navigate the inevitable ups and downs of a long season. The decision between Goldschmidt and France ultimately comes down to balancing offensive output with flexibility and budget constraints, and it will be a key factor in shaping the early season lineup. Turning back to pitching, The bullpen continues to be a major area of concern. The departures of key relievers last season left significant innings to cover, and finding high strikeout arms to replace that lost production is critical. Michael Kopech remains an intriguing free agent, offering a high-velocity fastball and strong strikeout potential despite injury concerns. His previous performances demonstrate the upside he could bring to the Yankees' pen if he stays healthy on the left-handed side. Yalen Beeks provides consistency and the ability to handle both right-handed and left-handed batters effectively. His ground ball tendencies make him a good fit for Yankee Stadium, helping the team limit fly ball damage in a ballpark known for its short right field porch. Both Kopech and Beeks represent options that could stabilize the bullpen, while giving Boone more strategic flexibility in late-inning situations. Managing innings and matchups will be especially important in the early months of the season, with Gerrit Cole projected to return in early June. The Yankees must navigate the rotation without their ace for the first couple of months. During this period, younger pitchers and mid-tier starters will have to step up, making depth and versatility all the more important. The bullpen will likely see heavier usage, which underscores the need for reliable relievers who can handle high-leverage situations. Any misstep in these early weeks could put pressure on the lineup and affect the team's ability to stay competitive within the division, where every game carries extra weight. Meanwhile, the Yankees' approach to player acquisitions is likely to remain conservative. Given their luxury tax situation, large contracts are off the table, meaning any additions will need to provide maximum value at minimal cost. This makes free agents who can contribute situationally, platoon players, and versatile bench options highly attractive. Veteran players with proven track records against specific pitching types or in high-pressure environments will be particularly valuable. By strategically targeting these profiles, the Yankees can fill gaps without disrupting long-term roster flexibility or exceeding financial limits, ensuring that the team remains balanced and competitive. Defensive considerations also play a role in shaping the roster. Catchers who can frame pitches effectively, outfielders who cover ground efficiently, and infielders with strong glove skills all help reduce the burden on the pitching staff. The Yankees have traditionally valued defense-first catchers, and this approach is unlikely to change, especially with the new automated ball strike system coming into play. The ability to control the strike zone and limit opposing offenses will be key in tight games, and selecting players who excel in these areas will help maintain consistency across the roster. Even when adding offensive contributors, defensive value cannot be overlooked, as it directly impacts run prevention and pitching performance. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. In the corridors of the Bronx, where success is measured in banners and patience is famously thin, whispers are growing loud around what some insiders call the most dangerous job in sports. The manager of the Yankees is never just a manager, and lately the spotlight has tightened around Aaron Boone. In quiet conversations, Boone has reportedly acknowledged restless nights, admitting that sleep does not come easily when the weight of expectations presses this hard. The idea that a dismissal could arrive even before the first pitch of the season has become an unspoken fear hovering over the clubhouse. Round the organization, sources suggest that Boone's insomnia is less about tactics and more about survival. Managing the Yankees means living with the understanding that confidence can vanish overnight, replaced by skepticism and impatience. Boone's words, interpreted by some as unusually candid, have fueled speculation that he feels the ground shifting beneath his feet. No contract, no past success, and no calm press conference ever truly guarantees security in New York. Executives, according to lead chatter, are not panicking, but they are watching. The roster is scrutinized daily, and every decision is magnified by a fan base that expects dominance as a baseline. Boone's admission of fear has been read into ways as honesty from a manager who understands the stakes, or as a sign of vulnerability in a market that rarely forgives it. The line between transparency and self-inflicted pressure is thin. Former players and rival coaches quietly note that this psychological strain is part of the job description. Still, it is rare to hear it spoken aloud. Boone's insomnia has become symbolic, a metaphor for an organization that never truly sleeps, always calculating the next move. Whether this anxiety is merely preseason tension or a warning sign of deeper doubts remains unclear. What is certain is that in New York, even before the season begins, the clock is always ticking. and the manager feels every second of it. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.